Now we're going to look at a couple of special cases or patterns that happen when we factor that will make it easier to do these, and especially they come up other places in math that if you realize what's happening, you can do it faster, and that's great. So the first one that we're going to look at is x squared minus 25. Now notice that does not have a middle term, and so we could rewrite it as x squared plus 0x minus 25, because 0 times x is 0, and that's why we don't have a middle term. Or we could just put plus 0 without the x in the middle if we wanted to. If I'm doing this the way we've already learned how to factor with 3 terms, I'd say, okay, this splits up so that we have x and x, and then I have to go, what multiplies to get negative 25? That in this case adds to get 0, or in other words, that they cancel each other out. And so, you at some point will be like, okay, well, that would be 5 and negative 5, because 5 minus 5 is 0. Okay, we call this pattern the difference of 2 squares. And it's not because these things look like squares, it's because this is x squared and this is 5 squared, and we're finding the difference of them. Difference means subtraction. So you can do it the other way, and as long as you think, okay, it's supposed to add to get 0, you can do it correctly. But if you notice this pattern, that when I have to have 3 things happening. The first term has to be something I can take the square root of. The second term has to be something I can take the square root of. It can't have an x with it. And then it has to be a minus in the middle. If it's a plus in the middle, this doesn't work. And if you're like, well, that seems weird, try to come up with a way to factor this into 2 parentheses, and you won't be able to correctly do it, because to get a positive 25, they either both have to be positive or both be negative. But if that's the case, we can't cancel to get a 0 in the middle, and yeah. The reason this pattern is helpful, because then a question like this one in the middle, where we might use slide and divide or split the middle term or the box method, if we recognize that this has a square root, 2x, and this has a square root, 3, and it has a minus sign in the middle, this ends up being the same thing twice. These were both x and 5, so this will be 2x and 3 in both of them, but they will have different signs. So one has a plus and one has a minus. And see how that was a quick thing, because we recognize, that we could use that pattern. Same thing is true here. And let me just point out that if you're using one of those other methods, your first step here is to do 16 times 49, and then to try to come up with things that multiply to get that huge number that will add to get you 0. So this is definitely something that is worthwhile, in my opinion, as a math teacher, to try to start to notice, especially once we get to like algebra 2 and pre-calculus. We definitely need to recognize this as the specialness that it is. So I'm going to say, well, this is other square roots and this square roots, and it's got a minus in between, so this is the square root of 16x squared, which is 4x. It doesn't matter if you put the plus first or the minus first, just make them be different signs. Square root of 49 is 7, so 4x plus 7 and 4x minus 7. That's one of our special patterns. The next special pattern, and you could actually think of it as 2, because it's slightly different when there's a negative, but just very barely different. What's happening here, if we ignore the middle term, is that we do in fact have 2 things that can square root, but we have a middle term instead of it canceling out. This is called a perfect square trinomial. Now, if you just want to factor it out the good old-fashioned way, it's actually not too tricky here, because we're saying what multiplies to get 9, that adds to get 6, and our answer would be 3 and 3. Now, the reason this is a pattern is because if you have x plus 3 as both parentheses, we can actually write this as x plus 3 with a squared. And so if we know this pattern, we can jump from the beginning to here just by saying, oh, this is a perfect square trinomial, and so that means that it's just x plus 3 because it's the square root of this and the square root of this. Now, every time I go over this, it's like, well, what's going on with that 6x? Because my end answer here doesn't look like it gives me, 6x if I multiply it out. Well, if you write it out twice, like we have it here, and you FOIL, when you do outer and inner, 3x and 3x gives you 6x. So that 6x really is supposed to be there. Now, as far as being able to actually tell if it's a perfect square trinomial, it is going to happen when you have 3 terms, when you can square root the first and the last term, and then the middle number is a little tricky because what happens is that if we take these 2 things that we square rooted, x and 4, okay, if we multiply x and 4 together and get 4x, but then we add 2 of those together, that's what the middle term should be if this is a perfect square trinomial. Now, I left out the negative, and I'm going to deal with that by putting a minus sign in here instead of a plus sign. But go ahead and write that out twice and multiply it out and see if that really seems correct, because it is. Now, you also could have said, hey, I know what multiplies to get 16 and adds to get -8. It's -4 and -4. And you could write that out with 2 parentheses and then change it to having 1 parentheses and a squared. But when we start to get bigger and bigger numbers, that's where it's helpful to know this pattern. So look at 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. So this square roots and this square roots, it doesn't matter that 12 doesn't. What matters is that if I have 12, then the numbers I get from here and here should multiply together to get 6x. Okay, and I just realized that maybe that's an easier way of talking about this than what I normally do. Square root of 4x squared is 2x. Square root of 9 is 3. They're all pluses. Normally, this is where we would see a minus if it's supposed to be minus in between. Not normally. That is where we would see a minus. If this one is a minus, then it's not a perfect square trinomial. So this is a plus, and it's squared. And notice how 2x times 3 gives us 6x. And since if we multiply it out, we have 2x times 3 that we do twice, so 6x plus 6x. That's how I know that this really was supposed to work this way. Now, you also can just trust me that I made all of these work out correctly and just say, okay, I can square root and I can ignore the middle term other than the fact that it tells me the sign and go from there. It's kind of up to you. You being able to do these using the pattern instead of just using our normal methods is not super important to me this year, but just know that there are things that this is helpful for later in math. So, give it a try at least, basically.